Welcome to the Purpose and Profit Club podcast for nonprofit leaders, mission-driven creatives, and social entrepreneurs. Get ready to stop dreaming and start doing. Here, ideas become action. We prioritize purpose and profit. You ready? Let's go. Hi, beautiful people. Today, I want to talk about a theme, an idea that's been on my mind for some time. I'm like, all right, we need to do a podcast about this. So I want to go over the difference, the benefits, the behind the curtain of working with a coach, working with a consultant, and maybe even the difference between those things and working with somebody who's a freelancer or an in-house staffer. So my goal for you today is if you've never worked with a coach or never worked really with a consultant, you have an idea of it. Maybe you've noticed a lot more people using the word coach, I think consultant's been around plenty, but using the word coach, and you're like, but I have this idea of it. What is it really? I want to unpack that with you. Okay. So I built my business doing done for you services. This is like a decade plus ago, having owned an agency. That was where our clients would hire us and, throw over the wall. Hey, you guys come up with and implement the entire marketing strategy, the entire plan, all the community management, all of this stuff. So there's that piece. And now you could hire, certainly, depending on the size of your organization, you certainly could hire a freelancer to do that, right? If you've ever worked with anyone who does like social media management, great freelancers, right? Who can do either a chunk, an aspect of it, who can do certain parts of it. Even in fundraising, sometimes we see that, right? Or sometimes organizations will choose like a part-time staffer if they don't have the budget for a full-time role. Okay, so freelancers, you get the gist. Now, working with a consultant and moving into the consultancy world is really where I started Splendid Consulting, right? So it's where I moved from that agency model where it was done for you services and it was, scaling with account coordinators and interns and things like that and going, this is not it. This is not what I want to do. And saying, how do I use what I've learned, use the tools that are working for all of these for-profit organizations, for-profit companies. They're making tons of money. And how do I adapt them? And how can I show nonprofit and mission-driven organizations how to use these same strategies, right? And stop doing the slow way and start doing the fast way. So I launched my consultancy. This is years and years ago, but I launched it as a consultant and I branded myself as a consultant. And when you worked with me, it was almost my version of consulting is a lot like mentorship. It's a lot like teaching, educating, and I will sit with you. It usually went like this. We would do a discovery where you would tell me your problem, very similar to like going into the doctor, right? You're like, these are my symptoms. This is what I feel like. And I'm like, okay. And from there I'd recommend, here's what I want you to do. Here's what these are the next steps, right? And then from there I'd go through a discovery period of really understanding your organization, kind of peeking behind the hood and going, okay, where do I see the disconnect, or where do I see a opportunity to improve upon, or where do I see like, ooh, this is kind of interesting, but we're not talking about this. Let's get you talking about it, right? And we would go through that process, and then from there, that's when I really, as a consultant, would step into being a subject matter expert in the nonprofit field of the educating and the mentoring. And here's what I want you to do. And we would troubleshoot together. And it was a lot of teaching. Like it was a lot of one-to-one, some done for you stuff. And when I say done for you, meaning, hey, let me help you. Let's create a theme for this 3-piece direct mail series. Let's come up with a theme for it and I'll help you ghostwrite it. Or if you're like, I've never done blank, right? I've never worked with influencers before. I might say, all right, let me customize a strategy for you. Let me help you come up with some swipe copy that is like plug and play. And then you're going to do the outreach and then we're going to meet. We're going to see how it's going, right? So when I had more of a consultant-based business, that's what I did. And I find that consultants in general This is the way I think of it. And I think a lot of people do, but everybody's got their own kind of definition and opinion. Consultants tend to be subject matter experts on what it is they consult on. Okay. So nonprofit world, fundraising, marketing, business growth, scaling up, online, digital. That's my zone. Okay. Storytelling. I got you. I'm not a great consultant for weightlifting, right? I'm not a subject matter expert on that, okay? And we'll go put a pin in that example, okay? I know some stuff about it, but I'm not a subject matter expert on that, right? I couldn't do exactly the entire lineup that I just gave you for that, okay? Then we have the consultant model that I believe is really more popular in the corporate world. If you see those large consulting firms, when I talk to those consultants, they do much more. I believe that those are a little bit more on the agency model where they actually are a fractional employee or they do a lot of done for you work. So I just want to give you that distinction. A friend of mine is a consultant, and whenever I ask her about her job, I'm like, that is not the consulting I do, my friend. This is very different. Okay. So now let's move over to coaches. What do coaches do? I want to kind of put a fork in the road here. Is you may have heard the term business coach. You may have heard the term life coach. And you may have heard the term, there's lots of different types of coaches and how people brand themselves. But I think of coaching this way. I think of coaching as, that thing you deeply desire. That thing, and this can be personal or professional, doesn't matter. The thing that you've had maybe on your resolution list, or you've had on your dreamy list, or you had as a goal, or you just deeply desire, it's a thing that won't go away, right? And maybe you've tried it and you're moving towards it. A coach gives you the support and the nudge forward to do that thing. So when I think about coaching way back when, we had coaches, if you think about it, in school, right? Many of them were for athletics, but we had coaches then. And what does a good coach do? A great coach understands you. A great coach can advise you, but a really great coach motivates you and makes you feel seen and supported while also getting you closer to where you want to be. It is both inner work of how are you feeling? How are you talking to yourself, right? Those pieces, and outer work, literally, I'm thinking about gymnastics. What do I need to do a cartwheel? Put your hands here. Let me spot you. Let me support you. Let me talk you through doing it again, right? That's a coach I'm thinking of having as a child, right? And then there's this weird thing that just happens when we become adults where there's no coaches anymore, right? They're poof, off into the world, go forth. And I think for a while, maybe the 90s and 2000s, a version of a coach for professionals was a mentor. Get yourself a mentor, right? But a mentor, that relationship to me always felt a little it felt a little, out of balance is the word. I'm thinking of two scales, like a seesaw, and they're not even. Because if I am the mentee and I'm, trying to get to where I want to be, that thing I deeply desire, and I've got my mentor for it, I sort of feel I already talked to her. I don't want to bother her, right? You don't get the consistency, right, with that mentor relationship. Typically, I've found that you get with a coach. Now, slight detour is between a consultant and a coach is there are many coaches, particularly more in the life and mindset industry, that are great coaches that are not subject matter experts on something. So for example, you could be a general life coach and you could coach your clients on anything, on marriage, on friendship, on handling relationships with their in-laws, right? On fitness, on health, on wellness, right? Because really a coach shows you your own thoughts and then gives you the support and accountability to move you forward to where you want to be. Many times people kind of confuse that with therapy. And I think of therapy as, let's unpack why you are the way you are. Let's unpack in a rear view way some of the things that happened, right? Sometimes that could be going back to some traumas. That could be just unpacking things that happen in your life where you're I want to debrief on this, right? That have a need to explore, right? I think that is very, very different than coaching. Coaching is, listen, I've had this on my list for 3 years, our organization funding, I want to fundraise $500,000, right? I'm not going to go to therapy to figure that out. I'm going to go hire a coach. And I'm not going to go to a mentor to figure that out either. And I'll tell you why. I'm not going to go to a mentor who knows how to raise $500,000 because they are busy. They're raising their own money, right? They're so far ahead. And I want somebody to work with me who understands this process, right? And who can hold me accountable week after week. So that's the kind of difference between all of those different roles, just to outline for you. Now, the type of coaching that I offer my clients that is coming to the Purpose and Profit Club group coaching program, which is happening and opening enrollment in just a few weeks. So make sure you register for the webinar. It's linked in the show notes to fast track your fundraising. That's going to be an amazing brand new training. And I will tell you all about the program inside that training. Okay. That's the best place to learn about the coaching program. This coaching program is like the Swiss Army knife of nonprofits. Okay. So I have combined my expertise in consulting where I feel like I can see the forest through the trees, right? I can see it micro, like you tell me your problem and I can very quickly say, this is what we need to do. And then the coaching comes in. How do I get you to take the first step? How do I get you to take the next step? How do I get you to do the inner work so you actually enjoy it and don't beat yourself up when there's some rejection along the way or some curveballs or some plot twists along the way? That's the coaching piece, okay? So that's how I combine them both, okay? Coaches for me are a place, and I've hired coaches myself. I've been in group coaching programs. I'm in one now. It's amazing. I feel like a group program helps me go, oh, I'm not the only one. Oh, this is normal. I was coaching a cohort of nonprofit founders this past fall. We would meet and kind of, I would do a bit of teaching and a bit of coaching to get them ready for year-end fundraising. And I remember the first session, I did a bit of teaching, and then somebody asked a question and we did some coaching on that. But somebody asked a better question, or rather a more vulnerable question. And once she asked that question and sort of just, ripped the Band-Aid off of like, this is what I'm actually struggling with. And I have a lot of fear around fundraising. I have a lot of fear around making an ask. And I'm not even doing it at all, Christina. I haven't done anything. Like, it was like she just needed to say the thing. The amount of people that basically were just nodding along on screen and in the chat going, same. And so as I coached her through some of her resistance and what was coming up for her, everybody else not only got that same coaching they could apply to themselves, but they got that like, oh, this isn't shameful. This is part of the deal. Like, this shit is hard, right? This is hard. And having a container of people who are like, oh, you do this too? I do this too. I find it lightens the entire load. Lightens it for me too. When I'm in a group of people who are like, see and understand and support me and cheer me on. I love coaching for that. Okay. So that's part of why I've created this as a group program. So if you've been listening for a while, you know that 2023 was my year of strong. That was my word of the year. And I really used it to carry me both personally and professionally in my life. But one of the ways strong showed up for me was I really wanted to prioritize strength training and weightlifting. So in January, I joined my local gym. After many, many years of a break, I joined it, I was back, and I went at least 3 days a week for the entire year. And I've outlined this in previous episodes, but I want to offer that whatever this data is, like, oh, it takes 30 days to start to start and keep a habit. That is not true. Okay. It's longer. So just know if this is you right now, because we're in resolution season, if it still feels like a grind getting up and going to the gym, or getting up and making donor calls, or getting up and posting on social media, whatever the thing is, it doesn't matter. If you're like, wait, the habit is supposed to form now, the latest science is saying at least 60 days. And I want to offer, in my experience, it was longer. It was like 4 or 5 months. That's fine. Like, it was like, I was like, well, this is just what I'm committed to for a year anyway. So just knowing that I wasn't like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to go every single week was fine. It sort of lessened the like, oh, it's not a habit yet. It doesn't feel as easy as brushing my teeth or washing my face at night. Okay. So, last year was the year of strong, and I really prioritized strength training and weightlifting. And what I noticed was probably by the fall, I was like getting a little like tired of doing the same few routines. Like I'd just switch it up. But basically what was happening is there are certain pieces of equipment and mats and floors and kettlebells and all the things, but there was like, I'd say 30 to 40% of the gym equipment I know how to use. It's over half of the gym equipment I don't know how to use. And I was like, I'm ready to like level up. I'm ready to like figure out some of this stuff, but I don't want to figure it out on my own. I don't want to like pinch anything. I don't want to tweak anything. I don't want to DIY this. I don't want to watch a video on Instagram that shows somebody doing it, because then when I get to the gym, none of this makes sense. I need somebody to help me. So I ended up purchasing a block of coaching sessions, and twofold, like here are two amazing outcomes, and here, like, and you'll see this in your own life of like, oh, isn't this interesting? So number one, I'm getting to learn the new equipment. Simple. I'm getting to learn the new equipment. And I find if we want to grow, whether it's grow your revenue, whether it's grow some sort of skill set, whether it's grow your mindset, anything, if you want to improve anything, you have to start doing new things, and often. Like not once, not twice, often. So I just love that it's like, not only is it teaching, I'm learning new things, but it's making me, I shudder to use the word excited because that is not the right word, but it's making me more interested in going, because I'm like, ooh, I'm not going to do the same chest press today. Like, who knows what I'm going to get to learn, or maybe I'm going to try this machine for the third time today, right? It has a there's a novelty to it that I think is important to give our brains to like stick to something that's hard. That's the first thing. Great outcome. Totally worth it. Second thing, and I cannot underscore the importance of this piece. A great coach motivates you. A great coach motivates you. You know what I mean. If you've had two coaches and one of them, and this has happened to me, one of them was so motivating, like talking to me through the reps, right? Talking to me after the rep, helping me sort of frame and shift my dialogue during the reps, right? So important after the reps. So important. Helping me enjoy the process, not just the product. Versus then I had kind of a quiet coach fill in, and he was really reserved and quiet. And I just was like, I need a little more hype. Like, you gotta, I need a little something, right? So a really great coach shows and brings out the best in you, and helps you feel better, nudges you to push forward. And then the last thing, I think I said two, but here's the third outcome too that I've noticed is the days that I go to the gym where I've got the coach for the hour, I'm more tomato faced than the days where I do the workout alone. Why? You know this, I know this, right? Because I have somebody holding me accountable. I have somebody motivating me. I have somebody saying, I got you. You're awesome. Keep going. Versus the days, now I'm pushing it, but you know what I mean? Where it's like, if it's just you, right? And that's why I love a coaching program. So in my own business, I was in a coaching program a while back and I loved it. Huge quantum leap through that. Huge quantum leap. What does a quantum leap look like? It looks like a level up in your identity, a level up in revenue, a level up in how I feel. And then I said, that feels complete, amazing. And then I went on, right? And I probably did a little bit of continuing ed, like maybe some courses or something like that, or took a few workshops or something, but I wasn't in a coaching program for a little while. And then I was like, I think I'm ready for that piece, that community piece, that like, ooh, people get me piece, that momentum piece, right? I just felt this like, ooh, I want that, right? And so I joined my coach's program, I don't know, terrible with dates, a few months ago. And holy crap, quantum leap. Like, holy crap, just getting in a space online where people are celebrating, where people are showing up, where people are saying, this is hard, where people are saying, hey, how would you handle this? Can I get feedback? Can I get some coaching? My mind's in the gutter. I need some help, right? Can you help me celebrate? Can you help me see my blind spots, right? Having that piece has been so valuable. And I've noticed in these last few months that a shift in how I feel. And how you feel is everything. How you feel is everything, because it informs how you show up to donors, how you show up to your staff, how you show up to your board members, how you show up to your friends, your family, your kids, right? So you want to make sure that not that you never have hard days, but how you're speaking to yourself in a way where it keeps you motivated, it keeps you moving forward, it keeps you like talking to yourself kindly, so that you stay in this social impact world and you keep doing the work you want to do. So to round it out, coaching is wonderful. Coaching is awesome. If you don't have a coach, I would love to be your coach. If I'm not the coach for you, I can help you find a coach. Send me a message. Let's talk. And think about the Purpose and Profit Club coaching program. Like I said, it's coming in just a few weeks. We will meet every single week, and then we will have a quiet week at the end of each month. We will meet every single week. We will have themes. I have just been like pouring into this program. You will have access to my entire library of courses, templates, worksheets. You'll get all of that. But we will deepen the work as we deal with the inner work and the outer work, the strategy. One of my clients, we've really worked hard on their digital strategy, their messaging, their fundraising, making sure that they have smarter tech than they were using. And then also it's like how so funny when you do that, how you adapt that to direct mail. And their direct mail program is rocking it. And sometimes it's just me going through it and giving them feedback in a few minutes. Move this here, get rid of those words. Let's punch up this headline. Those are the types of things we'll be doing. We'll be doing monthly giving. If you're like, okay, we have a monthly giving program and 4 people are in it. No. Let's level that up. Or if you're like, yeah, I want to start a monthly giving program and I feel overwhelmed and I don't know what to do, we're going to do that. If you're like, I wish that we had more major donors, we're going to get into that. I'm going to run Outreach Genius, which is one of my live programs. I only ever teach it live. I'm going to run it as a sprint. It's going to be so fun. So we will dig into prospecting and outreach and daring action inside the program. I cannot wait. It's going to be the best. It's going to be the best. If you have questions, send me a message at Splendid Consulting on Instagram, and I will see you soon. You know how they say you should enjoy the journey, not just the destination? Have you ever wondered, how do I crack the code to do that? I can help you do that. I can help you not only achieve your biggest, most daring goals, but the journey to get there. No more overwhelm, no more self-doubt. I want to invite you to book a call with me. Go to splendidatl.com/book. Think you've reached out to everyone in your network? Are you out of ideas to get noticed and get funded? I hear you. That's why I'm giving you a chance to steal my prospect list. Yes, you can generate leads for your nonprofit or impact-driven business. Grab my mini training and list delivered to your inbox instantly. Go to splendidcourses.com/prospect.